Have you ever thought about how one coffee shop became a worldwide chain with more than 35,000 sites and changed the way people drink coffee? A lot of people think that Starbucks began as a very big business. In the beginning, though, it was just a small shop that sold beans and almost never gave them a coffee. The year is 1971 and the place is Seattle, Washington. Jerry Baldwin, Zev Siegel, and Gordon Bowker were three friends who met in the famous Pike Place market. They had a simple dream: to bring good coffee beans to America. They had no plans to start a revolution. They really liked good coffee. Their store was called Starbucks, which came from the name of a character in Moby Dick and meant seafaring tradition or romance of the high seas. But they didn't have any lattes, cappuccinos, or frappuccinos in Starbucks. They didn't even sell coffee that had been made. You only need beans, some tools, and a desire to cook. How did that become the Starbucks we know now? Now Howard Schultz comes in. It was in 1982 that Schultz became the director of retail operations and marketing at Starbucks. While he was in Milan, Italy, he did something that would forever change his life and ours. Think about this. Howard walks along cobblestone streets lined with cafes where people are talking and espresso machines are hissing in the background. Baristas know each customer's name. It was more than just coffee. It was a group. It was the culture. It was an adventure. Schultz had an idea when he got back to Seattle. Starbucks shouldn't just sell coffee, it should serve it. He imagined coffee shops where people stayed, not just got a drink. They got in touch. It was their third place, somewhere between home and work. The company's owners weren't sure. They thought of Starbucks as a coffee shop for coffee lovers, not an espresso bar. Schultz quit the company and opened his own cafe called Il Giornale. This showed that his plan could work. Then, Schultz paid $3.8 million to buy Starbucks in 1987. Then everything changed. Starbucks changed under Schultz into what it is today, a cozy, high-end coffee shop. He paid attention to the mood, which included the music, the smell, the furniture, and even the words used. Those were not just drink sizes, grande, venti, and tall. They were making a mark. There was no coffee for sale at Starbucks. A feeling was being sold. A lot of people believed it. In the 1990s, Starbucks opened a new store every workday all over the United States. Then it grew to include other countries: Tokyo and London, Johannesburg and Beijing. Starbucks is no longer just a coffee brand. It's a way of life around the world. It gets even more interesting after this. Even though Starbucks was very successful, it never really relied on standard advertising. There will be no Super Bowl ads, no big flashy signs. Instead, it grew through word of mouth, smart setting, and most importantly, making a place that people wanted to go back to. Now think about this. Coffee wasn't made by Starbucks. In fact, it didn't even make espresso. But it changed the way we think about coffee. It went from being a drink you make in the kitchen to a daily habit, a sign of social status, and even a way to express yourself. You don't just get coffee at Starbucks. You leave for a while. Stillness. A place that you feel at home in, whether you're in Tokyo, New York, or Paris. But none of this would have happened if Schultz hadn't gone into that small Seattle shop and seen something bigger, if he hadn't taken a chance, if he hadn't thought coffee could be more than just coffee. When you drink your next caramel macchiato or cold brew, think about how it all began in a small store that didn't even sell drinks. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.